in Minneapolis. It's week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Teddy Bridgewater and the Minnesota Vikings versus Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers.
Later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football. And look at this, right away a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Now the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Wheaton will return it. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
Coming off of a loss their last time down, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
First carry here for Kanee Nwangu. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the give is Nwangu. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Handoff right side to Nwangu. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers under head coach Matt Rule. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A fake to McCaffrey. Now Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Robbie Anderson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater drops this off with the Wandu. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's brought down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Play action now. Bridgewater. And his throw here is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked about one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It is fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have, though. In their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Yeah, he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Darnold's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And he's got this down to the 35. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Fights him off. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Darnold. It fights him off. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Panthers, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.